I guess I'm not that good looking of a guy.
Well, hey, we only pick on the ones we love. This is the Retro Smash Video Game Podcast. Wherever you are, wherever you may be listening, thank you so much for hanging out with us today, live from the Gene Parmesan Memorial Studios. We are a retro video game podcast where three old friends sit around, drink beer, and talk old video games. I'm Weldy Time. Joining me here in studio, the guy who's reaching for another shot, apparently, out of the bag. He's Andy. Chicken Jockey!
No, okay.
Are you?
That's my Jack Black Minecraft movie.
Oh my
Jesus
god!
Christ, dude, we're 45 seconds in.
I did not watch it.
Well, I quit the podcast, guys.
Well, I was going to say, Ricky's actually joining us in studio, but now he's quit, so I guess he's out.
Yeah, sorry, I'm going back to my Cup on a String network, guys.
You're like, it's too damp. There's too many spiders down here.
It is.
You.
These are not ample recording situations for me, so I am very much a diva.
What was it? Was it Guns N' Roses or Van Halen that they used to ask for?
Both.
They used to ask for M&Ms.
The green M&Ms only?
Yes,
I think it was Van Halen.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Actually, I have a really interesting factoid about that.
Oh, so yeah, okay. So
Well,
I knew it was something like that. What you got?
They're called riders, right? So when you sign a contract and you talk about, especially for artists, and you talk about money, you're going to come to our Coliseum or whatever, you're going to play this date or these dates, and we're going to pay you this much, you're going to get this box office, blah, 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 blah. There's also these things called riders, which include, like, how much green room space you're going to have, and how many people are going to be available to, like, for security, and yada, yada, yada. It's really important when you work with, like, the name talent, you've got to find out what their riders are, because the agents won't even listen to you until you have your riders. But the whole green M&M things, right? We want a big giant bowl of M&Ms, but we want no green M&Ms. The public perceives it as a diva
Like a diva
move,
thing,
which,
yeah.
Yeah, which it totally can be. I'm not saying it isn't, or it's not sometimes that. But if you look at it from the standpoint of your road manager is walking into a venue which they're on the road, so they might be coming in a couple hours behind or a day before the band, but they have to make sure that everything's exactly how the band likes it. So if you walk into the green room and there's a big bowl of M&Ms, but there's green M&Ms in them.
I mean, they weren't listening.
Yeah, that means they didn't read the...
Yeah, precise. If the green M&Ms are missing, there's probably a very good chance that the rest of the attention to detail was there. And that's a lot of times why these silly things get put in riders. It's almost like a canary in a coal mine. They're trying to figure out, hey, are you going to handle your business? Or are we going to have a problem?
I am not adding any riders for you when you come in here, by the way, Ricky. I'm telling you that. No, you are not allowed to make any demands. We're not that big of a Coliseum. This is an 8x8 room.
I'm quitting.
Should we introduce the mystery voice that was on the
how about we do
podcast?
that?
Yes, the mystery voice from the Cup on a String radio network from the Bridge Teachers. He is Brian Reynolds. Brian, hello.
Hello. Thank you so much for having me.
Yes, thank you for joining us. This is the first guest that we have not actually met in person.
Yeah, like it's someone who is actually not part of our actual intimate friend group. So, yes.
I've had
Yet.
friends in from New York.
Yet.
I've had my aunt. We've had a couple of our close friends. And yeah, you're our first guest. So we really appreciate you coming on here.
Yeah.
I am honored.
How'd you find us?
Yeah, I'm interested in that, knowing that story as well. How did you find out about us?
So I'm a big fan of just like pulling back the curtain. Here's how the sausage is made. We run a subscription-based site for teaching bridge. We have a video library. If you've never touched a deck of cards before, you can go from knowing nothing to, a fundamental, even an intermediate advanced level of the game. Starting November of last year, we decided, you know what, we really want to get out there in more ways than just Facebook ads and mass mailings and all other stuff. We said, okay, let's get on podcasts. And literally, we just started searching for podcasts that we felt would have some sort of overlap with our audience.
Okay. Okay.
So we found you guys. Samantha and I love games. Love games. In fact, when we first met, we bonded over video games. She's an incredible gamer. In fact, I cannot wait to talk about one of my weapons from my list.
No spoilers. No spoilers.
But she's an incredible gamer, as she always has been. And for us, Bridge was a way that we connected very early in our relationship. So we've been looking specifically at gaming podcasts. And even though Bridge is obviously not a video game, although you can play it online, I highly recommend playing it.
I have. That's like the only thing I have on my phone, because I've never played Bridge in person with anybody else. I've only played it on the computer or on an app, but I did know some of it because Bridge is basically a souped up version of euchre, which is popular here in the Midwest.
Sure. Yeah, I played euchre when I was a kid with my grandmother. And then when Samantha taught me Bridge when we first started dating, I was like, oh, okay, it's kind of like euchre, except jacks aren't, the high cards. And then it's also very like spades. If you play spades, you basically know Bridge.
Yeah, that's the the other one. So we're talking with Brian Reynolds from the Bridge Teacher. Brian, so we start off every new person that comes on the podcast. We ask them 2 questions. First question is, how old or what would you consider the age appropriate to be for a game to be considered retro?
The older I get, the sooner that number happens. It's really funny. I was thinking about games that really speak to me getting ready for today, and all of them are like 15 years old.
Yep.
Okay.
It's kind of shocking to me. So I would say that anything over like 15 years at this point.
Yeah,
that's probably retro.
That's about right.
That's mine.
Yeah.
My definition was if it's old enough to legally get a driver's license here in the States, then I think it should be considered retro. So 16 or older.
Okay.
So you and I kind of have the same kind of ideal. And then question number 2, you are a burglar. You break into people's houses, but you only do things to slightly inconvenience your victims. I'll give you a couple examples. In the past, we've had somebody, I think it was the Babbler, said she wanted to tie all the shoestrings together. Yeah. And then I said, take the oven racks out. I mean, how are you going to find specialty oven racks for that?
You can.
I'm sure you can find the main
can.
So what is something you do? And I thought of one that's diabolical, but I'll let you go first. What is something that you would do to only slightly inconvenience your victims?
I would adjust every item that could be adjusted a quarter of an inch.
Oh my gosh. That is cruel, man.
Like moving it just so that
so like if it's a picture frame, for instance, I try to adjust it so it's off center, but not enough to like be noticeable right at the beginning. You do that to the couch, you do that to the chairs, you do that to everything you can, their bed, things in their closet. If I have extra time, I would reverse every third hanger in their closet.
That would actually drive me insane.
That's a good one. I like that one.
What a dastardly fiend.
I don't want them to know that I was there, but I want them to be like continually like my room feels off, just like unsettled every time they come home.
Yeah.
So I was thinking about this week because I'm like mentally preparing for the interview and for the podcast, which these guys know that never regularly happens.
It does not.
No, I'll text them. I'll text them at like 4:00 and we record it.
What's today's episode?
Yeah, exactly.
What's today's episode? What are we doing, guys?
I do like that scene from Family Guy where Brad Pitt was preparing to be the King of England. He's like, oh crap, I gotta be the King of England in 5 minutes. All right, hello. Got it. And that's essentially how I run things. But I thought of one this week. So my grandpa weldy time. And then my grandpa
father time.
Yeah, exactly. And then my grandpa on my mother's side, they had 1-car garages attached to the house. They would do the thing where they would hang from a string a tennis ball.
Oh, yep. To make sure they know where to
Yeah,
park.
to make sure so as soon as the tennis ball hits the windshield, they know to stop. I'm moving that tennis ball a half a foot.
Oh my god.
Oh no.
No, I'm not moving it like 5 feet. I'm moving it a half a foot.
That's enough to
that
is
they're crashing into their laundry machine.
Yeah,
sure.
exactly.
Jeez, well,
for sure.
See, I thought about that, but I'm like, is that really slightly
I would hunt you. I would hunt you. For sure. You did that to me.
I was gonna say, is that slightly inconveniencing, or is that something I could totally be?
No, because my car is only 9 inches shorter than my garage space. So if you did that to me, I would smash into something and then like run, just run, like start running. Don't look over your shoulder because I'm coming. Like it's
I'm thinking slightly inconveniencing because I don't think anybody's going into their garage doing more than 5 mile an hour.
Still,
I disagree with that. But
how fast are you going into your garage?
I don't know. I guess it depends on how fast I'm trying to get home.
Does he have to use the bathroom?
Like
when the turtle head's poking.
Yeah.
Oh no.
When I'm turtlenecking, it's a wrap. But I gotta get there.
If it's like me from German Fest, it's
See, so you get it.
I do.
I guess if I had to throw in here really quick, I think I've maybe mentioned it before, but I would absolutely take all of the batteries out of the house.
Oh God,
that's brutal.
Yeah, all the batteries gone. So out of the remotes, out of the storage closets, everything. All the batteries gone. So when you go to
hey, I have 3 people in my house that do that already. That's why I never have AA batteries when I'm coming down to play Xbox. I'm like, where are all my AA batteries? I'm like, oh, the kids use them for their toys. Yeah.
So the whole house is getting stripped of of all the batteries. So when you go to use your thermostat, you'll be like, why is it? What's going on here?
Oh, so cold.
Why is it so hot or so cold? You know?
We're joined this week by Brian Reynolds from the Bridge Teacher. I'm getting that right. The Bridge Teachers, correct?
Correct.
Okay. Take us a little bit. What do you do for the Bridge? Obviously, it's going to be a dumb question, but like, what does the Bridge Teachers do? Like, what do you do for them? I know obviously you teach people Bridge, but you said that it's from the ground up. Do you do this professionally? Just talk a little bit about what you kind of do for the game of Bridge.
Sure. So my wife and I have been teaching Bridge for beginners. We focus on people who've never touched decks of cards before, all the way up to sort of intermediate advanced level play. We've been teaching sort of private lessons or students since 98, I want to say.
Oh, wow.
Wow.
Yeah. A majority of my life period has been teaching Bridge. And it really came from this standpoint of when Samantha taught me to play back in college, we didn't have any resources to learn how to play. Everything was geared toward people who already knew how to play, who were advanced players. The books were indecipherable for a beginner. So for us, it's trying to remove any challenge that we can from learning the game. We want to make it as easy as possible for you to learn it, jump in, and enjoy it. Samantha's got a video up on YouTube, learn it in 9 minutes and 9 seconds. So the idea is we're just trying to make it easy for people to enjoy the game because we love the game. Like there'll be times where we don't have a student and we're like, we got a couple hours, we'll jump on and play an online tournament together. It's not just like the job, right? So the Bridge Teachers is mostly a video library. Samantha's composed over, I think, 500 lessons at this point.
Wow.
And she's always putting up more. And then, of course, we also do, one-on-one or group lessons with people via Zoom. Then we've got a YouTube channel, the usual stuff.
Do you guys play professionally? Like, is there like a professional Bridge like league? I'm just kind of curious.
Yeah.
I've always heard the professionals are the ones that are the teachers. If you've done it so many hours and then you can teach somebody else, it's like you're considered a professional at it.
I actually think the opposite. I've gotten to play against world champions. Samantha and I have actually made the second day, which you have to make a cut. We made the second day of national championship events.
Damn.
I would consider myself a similar, like a scratch golfer, right? Like if you go to the country club, I'm the best player at the country club, but I'm not going to the PGA Tour, right? There's a level there. And in my experience, people who are really, really, really good, they're actually not that great at teaching, especially beginners. Beginner will ask me like, well, how do I count? How do I keep track of the cards? I can explain how to keep track of cards like 4 different ways, depending on what speaks to you. Whereas to a top flight Bridge player, that's like asking them, well, how do you breathe? Like, how do you blink your eyelids, right?
Now I'm thinking about blinking and it's like, it's tripping
Yeah,
me out.
totally.
Yeah,
It's totally tripping me out, yeah.
Don't think about pink elephants. But so I think that for us, yes, you can be a professional Bridge player in terms of you can get paid to play. The way that usually works is there's a sponsor that's either sponsoring the pair, because it's a pairs game, you play with a partner, or they're sponsoring a team. So a team is 4 to 6 people. The sponsor is playing on the team, but also paying for all the professionals and stuff like that. That's one way to make a living at Bridge. That requires traveling like 260 days out of the year.
Oh, not bad.
No, not bad at all.
I'm being facetious, of course.
Yeah,
That sounds
of course.
awful.
Yeah. Honestly, I don't know if Samantha and I could have gotten there to the point where we were good enough to be hired for those type of teams. You're talking about people who have won national championships, have won world championships. Their expectation is when they play in a national championship event that they have a shot at winning. If we had decided 30 years ago that that was the path we were going to go down, how good could we have gotten? I have no idea. But I knew that I wanted to sleep in my bed and I wanted to have dogs and I wanted to spend time with my family. So we chose to monetize through teaching. It's worked out very well for us.
We're talking with Brian Reynolds from the Bridge Teachers. Now, you mentioned your wife a few times. You mentioned earlier that you guys met through video games and that she's a hardcore gamer. What are the kind of games that maybe you guys play together? What is games that she likes to play? Maybe you guys don't agree on? Or what are some trends that you guys have?
Well, right now she's on Heat 32 in Hades 2.
Oh, hell yeah. Nice.
Wowzers.
Damn.
Man, she's cooking.
Yeah. Literally, yeah. She's literally cooking. She ran the healing team for our World of Warcraft raid team. We were 3rd in progression on our server up through Wrath of the Lich King. And then we quit cold turkey because that was a full-time job.
Wow.
Let's see what else. Oh, we used to play Division 2 a lot together. together. That was great. Division 2, I feel, is tuned sort of perfectly in terms of difficulty at 2 players. With 4, I think the enemies tend to become bullet sponges, and it gets kind of boring. And she's just an incredible gamer. So getting to run around Washington, D.C. and fight gangs and do a loot shooter with her, she's great at like, okay, I'm covering you, and 2x2 movement. It was pretty cool. Well, let's see, what's the first games we played? I mean, we both love Legend of Zelda and all that stuff. I mean, she's awesome. She's the most awesome person I've ever met.
Awesome. That's good stuff to hear. I always love, like, I can't pay half the time my wife to join me for a video game, although she did join me for Trauma Center. Oddly enough, out of all the video games ever in the world, we have the Wii hooked up upstairs, and I'm like, do you want to do Trauma Center? And she's like, I'll try it. And if anybody, I'm like, you're going to try a couple surgeries. That's the most intense game ever.
Brian, so I imagine you're familiar with our podcast a little bit here. And the tradition around here is to check to see what we are all drinking this evening. Would you by chance be having anything to drink tonight with us?
Yeah, no, for health reasons, drinking and I broke up.
That is understandable.
That's absolutely understandable.
I apologize for even It's
terrible.
No.
But if I were still drinking, I would say that in honor of this podcast, I do have, it was a gift from a very appreciative client. I do have a bottle of Macallan 25.
Wow.
Wait, hold on.
That's spicy.
Yeah.
Like expensive.
Oh, yeah.
It's aged 25 years and it's a Scotch.
That is,
so,
single malt Scotch.
Ooh.
Yeah. And I've probably had like 2 things of it over the last 3 or 4 years, 5 years.
Touched. Ooh.
You only break it out for very special.
Yeah. That's totally understandable.
Well, now I feel trashy.
I was gonna say,
we're trashing it, man. We're like drinking malt liquors and 99s down here.
One's got a malt liquor, one's got 99. I got a natty light. I'm like, we're doing good. Like, life is great.
Life is great. It's recession time, guys. We gotta drink like it's recession time.
So heavier?
Not yet, but okay. So moving on from Brian, I suppose, with that question.
Yeah, we're talking to Brian Reynolds from the Bridge Teachers again. I know you had said some of the games that you and your wife play together, but we're not going to spoil it because we want to ask you some stories about your weapons coming up here in a little bit. But first, I have this week's game for you guys.
Woohoo!
Woohoo!
Yay.
I'm just going to throw this in here right now because Weldy skipped over me anyways, even though we said we're drinking malt liquor. I'm letting everybody know that in person right now, in studio, Ricky is definitely drinking a Mickey's. So Mickey's for the Rickies right now. And Andy,
it's a 99 butterscotch, but I also have Revelstoke's Butter Squinch, which is just another butterscotch schnapps.
That just
I felt butterscotchery today.
Wasn't that the stuff that in the episode of South Park that they all drank where Cartman was it was the Civil War reenactment?
No, that was
S'mores Schnapps.
S'mores
The episode where
exists. There's a s'mores wine. I have to look into that. I don't want to play grab ass though.
All right, are you guys ready?
No. Let me grab my notebook here. I came
He has-
prepared.
it's Google.
I have my little
Google
doodle. Hold on, don't go looking at it. Trying to.
For your
That's why you keep
for the
winning.
quiz for the
Yeah,
test.
now I can see you.
I
can
have
see
to
you.
keep track of the points.
I'll keep track of the points. All right, so
Unfortunately,
here we go.
I don't have Google pulled up in front of me today, guys. I can't cheat like
Yeah,
usual.
Yeah, that's what we thought. Is it this or is it that? These jabronis and Brian have to choose. All right. So we're keeping with the theme with weapons this week. We'll be going through our favorite or the greatest top. I kind of did favorite,
Whatever.
by the way. Yeah.
Whatever. A top 7.
I have one that's extremely funny. So your category for today, how special really is this special weapon? I've been doing a list of 10. We're going back old school. I'm going to give you a list of 7 names.
Okay. Keep it quick.
Yeah. You have to tell me if each of the names on the list is either a special weapon in Rogue Trip 2012, which is essentially the sister, younger brother of Twisted Metal.
Okay.
It's a car combat game.
Okay,
I hear
cool.
about it, so I guess we'll see.
Okay.
Or a primetime television show in the 1987 to 1988 primetime season.
Okay. Mr. Belvedere.
Mr. Belvedere was on there.
I feel that I am at a distinct disadvantage between Brian and Andy on that subject.
Well, here we go. We're going to give you some extra credit. If it's a television show, you have to tell me where on the top 80 list it landed. If you are within 3, I will give you a half a point.
Wait, so hold on a sec. Top 80, what's the top 80 list from? Where's that from?
It is from...
Brian's pulled his Google.
Brian's pulling up the...
I'm already metagaming this shit. Let's go. Let's go.
It's from...
Is it the TV Digest from from 1988?
No, it's from Facebook.
Okay, there we go.
Here it is.
From Facebook.
It's primetime series, The Best and Worst by the Numbers, from September 21st, 87 to April 17th, 88. The top five, 5-1. Number 5 was Growing Pains. Number 4 was The Golden Girls.
Okay.
Number 3 was Cheers. Number 2 was A Different World. And number 1 was The Cosby Show.
That makes sense.
Yes.
Putting pops
Yep.
in the...
So, okay, I lied. There are 82 on
that's
here.
special.
If you are within 3, I will give you a half a point.
Okay.
If you get it exactly on, I will give you a full point.
That
Okay.
makes sense.
All right.
You should give double points for it
All
being
right.
exactly on.
So again, Rogue Trip. Fuck it, let's do it. Here, I'll give you double. I'll give you 2 points if you get it exactly on. I'll give if you're within 3, I'll give you half a point. If you get it exactly on, I'll give you 2 points.
Okay.
All right.
And
here we go
2/3 of a
again.
point if you're within 6.
Right.
Yeah.
All right. Rogue Trip, Special Weapon, or 87-88 primetime television show. Number 1, Chicken Lickin'.
I'm going to go with primetime show.
It sounds like a PBS show. I'm doing a weapon.
Okay.
I'm doing a weapon as well.
It is a weapon.
Ah.
Nicely done. It is Gator Bates Weapon.
What kind of name? Okay.
Of course.
Okay, I'm telling you, this
This sounds like a knockoff Twisted Metal
It
game
is.
for
It's
sure.
essentially like, I think there was an Elvis in the game.
Of course.
Why not?
There was a meat wagon, but it was an evil butcher driving a big Wienermobile.
So it's
The Oscar Mayer.
Yeah, essentially all the cars that didn't make it into Twisted Metal made it into this game.
Nice.
Number 2, The Ripper.
I'm going to go with Rogue Trip.
Okay.
yeah, same.
Yeah, same.
3 for 3. Nicely done. Yep. Intruder is the name of the car, and I think it was driven by a gigantic guy dressed as a mouse. Kind of like a small mousey mobile.
So somebody in IT then.
Oh! Ow. Them's fighting words.
Coming for the furries, guys. Be careful out there.
No, listen. If a furry convention ever gets bombed or something, the entire IT system will collapse.
It's just
Yeah,
collapsing.
that's it. Man. That's
it is.
Yeah, I agree. I don't.
I have
disagree
lots
with
of
that.
friends who are in IT who are also furries, and I got to tell you, the cliche is absolutely true.
Is it really
Yeah,
accurate?
it's pretty accurate. I have friends who definitely into like they do IT for work, and it's scary. Like how accurate that statement is.
That's
like,
cool. I always thought that was like
yeah.
a cliche. I didn't think that was an
Nah,
actual.
brother, you might as well wrap it up for the whole country, the economic system, everything. That's a wrap. Electric, we're all done.
Yeah,
I got a quick question.
totally.
Yo,
Since we're just passing Easter, or after this podcast, is the
I
Easter Bunny
I
a furry?
don't.
Stop.
Is that guy dressed as a bunny? What's the...
Well, then now we got to talk about Disneyland characters.
Yeah, for real. Mickey Mouse.
That
For
guy's
real.
not. No,
That's
man,
for
that guy's
real.
definitely not. That guy makes bank, and he is probably the highest paid furry ever.
I don't know. Probably the Phillies mascot.
Oh, I can't think of his name now.
Philly
The
Fanatic?
Maniac?
Yeah, the maniac.
Philly
yeah.
Fanatic. The
Yeah, the
Fanatic.
Fanatic.
Although that's not really an animal. That's like a thing.
I mean, it's still a furry.
Is he
It's
furry?
still a furry.
That's fair.
Okay. I mean,
Yeah, let's not gatekeep.
oh no! Hey man, I'm not gatekeeping. Like, you do you. I is full on support. I'm not knocking anybody.
Yeah,
on what
listen,
they
if you
do.
just want to throw yourself into a pile of felt and call yourself an anthropomorphic blob, that's
Hey,
you.
I
man.
mean,
that's your
well,
thing.
It's okay, guys. This is what I do for a living.
Number 3. Number 3, Equalizer.
Oh,
I'm calling
okay.
that a show. That is absolutely a primetime show.
I'm saying a weapon.
It's a show which was later rebooted about 5-6 years ago, starring Denzel Washington.
That is correct.
Oh!
That is correct. But where did the original TV show land on the top 82 list?
Number 33.
Okay, Andy. And you guys can overlap answers if you want.
Okay. I'm going to say 33 also because you just mentioned that.
Okay, Brian.
I'm going to say 45.
Oh my God, it was 44.
Ah!
Oh my God.
1.5 points.
That was so
Do
close.
not speak to me of the elder magic. I was there when it was written.
Number 4, Thorns.
Show.
Thorns.
You said thorns.
Thorns.
I'm going to say show.
Gosh, this is tough, but I'm going to say show as well.
It is a show.
Hey, all of us.
Yes, nicely done.
Wait, was this the knockoff show that was from the Thornbirds, which was like a mini series, and then they did like a show based on it or something?
I don't know.
Unfortunately, Wody didn't do that much research as far as that goes.
No, I didn't do the research because
I don't know if it was or not, but that's what it reminded
I didn't do the research because I don't care.
He doesn't do the research before the shows. He just told us that earlier. Warriors, so that's fair.
So it got an 8.8 out of 15, which is, I'll give you a hint, it's not a great score. And it fell between Hotel and Probe. So where did it land?
Oh, wait. I think Hotel was starring Josh Brolin's father.
Yes.
Oh, damn.
Cool. Nice poll.
Who married Barbara Streisand, I believe.
Oh, fuck.
Wow.
I did not know that either.
All right. Well,
well, now we got to keep it going to see how it can. Instead of the 6 degrees of Kevin Bacon, we got to see the 6 degrees of how it can get back to this podcast.
I got you. I'm going to go with 69.
Okay.
Nice.
All right.
Nice.
I'm going to go higher. I'm going to go 24.
Okay.
I'm going to say 57.
It was 73 out of 82.
Wait, what did you say?
73.
He was within 3.
I was so close. I should have went with 70.
No, wait. Didn't you say within 3 was half a point?
He got 69.
Yeah, I said 69.
It was
so
73,
I was off by like just that 1 point right there.
Oh, I see.
We don't neighborhood rule around here.
I gotcha. Okay, gotcha.
Number 5, Sledgehammer.
That has to be a show.
I'm going Road Trip.
Okay.
I'm going Weapon.
That was the one I was hoping to trip you up with. It was a show.
Hey!
Nice. Where did it land?
I'm going to say 82.
80. Oh, wow. Okay.
Wow. Yeah, I was going to say with a name like that, it feels like it would be low rated, but I'm going to shoot my shot here and say 49.
Okay.
I'm going to go with 69.
Now would have been time for 76.
Oh.
It was tied for 76 with West 57th.
How do you tie 100 some fucking TV show?
Oh, because it got a 7.8 out of however many. I don't know how the Nielsen. Oh, it's out of the share. It's the rating / share. So it only got a 15 share, which is not great.
Especially back then, because TV wasn't nearly as fractured as it is now.
Right. There's like not 9 million things to watch. It was like
87. There was like, I think Fox Network had launched, but that was about it, and everything was syndicated.
Yeah, Fox was just launching in
Married with
87,
Children
88. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was it.
Yeah.
It's like the King of the Hill skit. It's like Bobby says, "Can we watch Fox, Dad? Is football on?" No. Then no.
Wow, that's a good impression. Hold on. We're not going to walk past that. Like, that didn't just happen. That was really effing good. Like, most people do, like, cartoon voices, and it's like, oh, yeah, like, can we not do that again? But that was really, really good.
That's just one of my many talents.
That's great.
The other was the Elmo voice.
Nice.
No.
Number 6, Poodle Power.
I feel like you're trying to trip me up with that one. I do. I know you're trying to trip me up with that because that sounds like it'd be something from Road Trip.
That's why I do these games.
Which makes
every single one of these sounds like it could be either one.
Which makes me want to say, oh, well, duh, like that's too obvious of an answer. So I'm absolutely going to say it's a primetime show.
Okay.
I'm going the reverse of that because I thought a primetime show originally, and I'm going with a weapon.
I refuse to explain my answer, but I'm going to say Weapon.
It is a weapon. It's a weapon from Bitchin' Wheels. I think she's a hooker that drives a monster truck.
Cool.
Yeah, I think so. And last but not least, number 7, 227.
That's a show.
Sounds like a cop show.
That does. That sounds like one of those PS 118, one of them public education shows where it's like the teachers are struggling to help the inner city kids or something like that. That's what I feel like.
Well, if it's a police thing, it could also be the nickname for a police car's special weapon.
You shut your mouth. Don't you try to I don't need you trying to brainwash me. I'm going show. I'm still going show.
I'm doing show as well.
That sounds like a show that would be starring John Ritter and would be a knockoff of Three's Company when the network was trying to reclaim market share. So I'm going to say show.
Please.
Hot out there.
It is a TV. It's a TV show. It's
Yeah.
a TV show. You guys all got it right. All right. Now I think what could definitely be the equalizer here that wasn't
72.
already on the list. Where did it land? 72. Okay.
I think, just knowing you, I think you have to have picked one of the bottom ones. So I'm going to say 82 again.
Okay.
I'm going to say 15.
Wow.
Okay. I almost want to let you guys guess again, but give you a hint.
That means that we either did really
Wait,
bad or he's trying to just mess with us. So I'm going to go with 21.
Great. I want my hint.
Okay. Your hint, I'm going to tell you the TV shows that were around it, going in descending order. Designing Women, Knots Landing, Hunter, then 227, and then Newhart, Head of the Class, and Dallas.
How did this show beat Newhart and Head of the Class?
Okay.
So I'll let you guys pick again.
Oh,
I will throw you guys a bone. I'll let you guys pick again.
I'm bumping it up. I'm going to 22.
I'm sticking with my 15.
I'll say 8.
It was 23.
Oh,
close.
son.
Full House was 58. Mr. Belvedere, you mentioned that, was 53. 2020 was 46. MacGyver was 42. Yeah. Saint Elsewhere, 38. Miami Vice, 36. Just kind of picking through. Dynasty, 33. Magnum PI, 32. Highway to Heaven and Facts of Life tied at 30. And then 29-1. Kate and Alley, Perfect Strangers, Hooperman, Designing Women, Knots Landing, Hunter, 227. Newhart, Head of the Class, Dallas, Valerie's Family, My Two Dads, Family Ties. Tied at 15 was Amen and Monday Night Football. 14 was Matlock. Tied at 12 was LA Law in Moonlighting. 11 was Alf. And then 10-1, Wonder Years, Murder, She Wrote, 60 Minutes, Night Court, Who's the Boss, Growing Pains, Golden Girls, Cheers, A Different World, and The Cosby Show. Ricky, how did everybody do in the game?
Andy got
7.
6.5.
Oh,
Brian,
I got double point on that, I thought.
What? Which
No,
one?
I didn't hit on the head.
You didn't hit on the head. No.
You didn't hit on the head. You got Andy had 6.5, Brian had 7, and I had 4.
Damn.
Although, to be fair, I may or may not have stopped keeping track somewhere in between, but I don't know, man. Mickey's and the 99 start catching up really quickly, so I'm nipping on Andy's drink also.
All right, whatever. You both lose. Brian's the winner.
Whoa!
Yay!
We totally didn't throw this game for our special
And
guest.
my mom said I wasted all my time watching TV. Yeah, take that, Mom.
All right, everybody's ready here. So here's how we'll do this. We'll kind of go around table, and Andy was kind of saying it earlier.
Everyone start with their 7.
Yeah, we'll go around. We'll say our 7, and then when we get to 6, and then 5, and then like if your 4 has been said already, you can just say, "Oh, you had my 4," so we can kind of rip fire this.
Yeah.
But if somebody gets your number 1, you have to scream out, "You sank my battleship."
There we go.
Double deal.
Let's do it. Okay, so my number 7 I have on here. There's a little gray area between top weapons and then my favorite weapons, because my favorite ones I think are mostly what's on here.
Your personal top 7.
It is your top favorite 7.
So my 7 is the actual Wii remote.
As a weapon?
As a weapon.
Were you just? I'm sorry, you don't have any siblings that I'm aware of. So were you just? Who are you throwing this at?
I
Poor
have
kids.
that
Wow,
don't want to put
okay.
the strap on when they play Sonic versus Mario at the 2012 London Olympics.
Oh my gosh!
So I'm like, no, you gotta put your
Wow.
strap on. They swing and then I just take one of the
Break your TV
kneecaps.
and-
Yeah.
Wow.
Well, I've seen those videos of people that get hit by them or like TV shattering. That's hysterical.
Yeah.
Video game weapons are great, but there is nothing better than an IRL video game weapon.
That's
So wait, hold on a second. Though, isn't a weapon intended to cause damage? This is inadvertent damage. This is like collateral damage.
Well, I mean, I've seen
they're
people
kids,
with
so
rage.
realistically,
I mean,
like,
I could definitely call it an
they're
improvised
kids,
weapon.
so I mean, they'll definitely like it's always intended with a child.
Like, there's no way I'm letting my kids play Just Dance 2-player because they will absolutely run over each other. My daughter, who's 5, she's like half a foot taller than my son, who's 4. She'll bump into him, he'll fall, and I know he'll get back up and he'll probably throw the remote at her. So he will definitely use it as a weapon. So physical violence, yay! Ricky, what you got for number 7?
For number 7, I have everyone's favorite Nintendo 64 game, 007, The Golden Gun.
Okay.
Just to preface my list, a lot of weapons you guys will probably actually have already heard if you listen to past episodes of our podcast, because these are like from my favorite video games of all time. But definitely the Golden Gun from 007. It was one of my favorite games, playing it multiplayer on the 64, playing it with all my cousins. And, you're the one who gets the gun and it's bang, bow. That's a wrap, man. It's the one shot, you're done.
If you got the Golden Gun and played as Odd Job, you didn't have any friends.
Well, it's very much so OP as a weapon. It was definitely one of my favorites, and it brings back a lot of childhood memories of getting to sit up with family and friends late at night, getting to play video games. And that's where I fell at on this list with a lot of these games. So
Nostalgia's a hell of a drug.
hey, that's our podcast, right?
That's exactly what this is. Andy, what you got for 7?
Well, before I get into that, Ricky shared his top 7 games, and he has said, guess what the weapons are. So I guess what the weapons are. I have the list in my hand. I'm going to pass it to Ricky at the end of this to see how many I got correct.
We'll see, guys.
Okay.
Just to insert this really quick also at the end of this, I have another friend that I sent a picture, not of the full list, but just of the video games that the weapons came from, and they guessed 5 out of the 7 weapons right off bat. So either I'm incredibly predictable or they just know me really well. And I'm hoping that I'm just a really well-known person and I'm not just that predictable, although I don't know the difference between the two at this point.
Mine also is from a James Bond game. Mine's from The World Is Not Enough. I think it was a sequel right after the 007.
I think so, yeah.
Yes.
It's the AT-420 Centennial. It's the guided rocket launcher. I had so much fun with that because you can control where the rocket is going.
Yeah. So I sent my list to Andy and Weldy last night. Just the video games, mind you. I didn't tell them what my actual weapons were. And both of them had mentioned that they were switching up their list a little bit. Andy, has this changed your list after I had sent my
I was going to put the golden gun on mine in there, but then I was like, no, I want weapons that I actually had fun with, not ones that are like the best weapons.
Yeah, no doubt. I had a lot of fun with that because I suck in multiplayer games. So I will always have a lot of fun when I get to one-shot somebody. Spoilers for a later weapon.
Brian, what do you have at number 7?
Number 7 it's the one I least have like a personal connection to, but I felt like it still had to make the list, which is the Scorpion Spear from Mortal Kombat.
That is, yeah.
That's a good one.
That is a very good one.
All you have to do is scream, "Get over here!" and everyone can instantly gets either dopamine rush or PTSD from that thing coming at you and you being yanked, and it had great fatalities with it and all other stuff. So even though I wasn't a Scorpion main,
who's your main? Who's your main? I gotta know.
Sub-Zero.
Oh,
my man!
Same.
Yes! You're talking to a Sub-Zero main household here.
That's exactly right. You are welcome here.
You are. I don't know if you've ever listened to our Mortal Kombat episode, but we actually talk in length about how one of the newer Mortal Kombat games spent about $120 on it.
On the DLC.
On the DLC. Like, this is like the main game in DLC, and this is me when I live with Andy and a few of our other roommates all went in, bought this game, bought DLC for it, played it for about 4 or 5 hours. I wouldn't even say 5 hours, honestly. That's too long of a night, but about 4 hours, and I just mollywopped the entire household for 4 hours straight to the point to where they stopped playing the game.
Yeah.
And that was it. We spent $120 for one night of
4 hours of gameplay.
4 hours of gameplay because they were so mad at me that night.
I mean, that's one way to look at it. I would relanguage this. I convinced my friend to spend $120 for me to have eternal glory and bragging rights.
I mean, that's pretty much how it turned out. It was pretty funny watching the looks on their faces as even the best gamer in the house compared to me was struggling with beating me. And I was like, yeah, you guys, this is a Mortal Kombat thing. You guys aren't getting there with me, man. This is my game. Of all the games that I can lose in, this ain't going to be the one. I don't care who I pick or who I choose. And Sub-Zero is definitely my main, but I went through like a lot of those characters and I showed them. This ain't it.
Love it.
Number 6, I stole from Fallout, and you can get this in a lot of different games. I went back and forth with which one I wanted to take. I wanted to use the nuke. So I had a couple different games I could use it with. I could use it with Super Smash TV. I could use it with Call of Duty Zombies. But I decided to use it with Fallout in the form of the Fat Man.
Got one of mine.
Did I?
Yep.
Oh.
But I have something else on that.
Damn it.
boy.
Okay. Well, I was going to say, I was going to make it so our lists weren't going to match.
Nope,
That's beautiful.
That's going to happen.
That's so cool because I thought about using the Fat Man on my list. I did, and I'm so glad that I didn't. Because everybody knows that I'm like such a Fallout person, like through and through. I'll play it like 1,000 times and not get tired of it. But that was one of them, and I was like, I just feel like that's going to hit someone's list, man.
Yeah.
I can find another.
It's a good weapon.
It's a great weapon.
I had a couple
I'm not
other ones on
upset
here,
about
but I'm
it.
like, that's the holy shit factor. That's
It
the
is.
one that
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's the one, because I went for a couple of these on this list that they're good weapons, but it's also like, oh my god, like my number one is an absolute, like, I remember exactly where I was in life, in house, where I was the first time I used it. Ricky, what do you got for 6?
So for number 6, this will come as a not big surprise to a lot of people, but I'm more of a sim person. So a lot of the games that I play do not typically involve a lot of weapons or anything that would be really standout or memorable. But one of my favorite games growing up was from the Soul Calibur series.
Oh.
And so from that, me and the missus had a discussion. We talked about our favorite characters from Soul Calibur. My favorite weapon was the Soul Edge, which, if anybody remembers, that's like the evil version of the Soul Calibur sword. It has the giant eye pulsating on it. It just looked really wicked, and you get to beat people with a sword that has an eye. That's the only way I can describe it. That's it, man.
Sword.
Yeah, I mean, like maybe I could have put that at number 7, but I just felt like I love that game so much. I love Soul Calibur. I don't know if any of you have actually ever played Soul Calibur. No? Okay.
Not like a whole lot to
That
remember
makes
something
sense, 'cause
specific
you
like
guys
that.
don't like playing those type of games because you guys don't even play Tekken or Mortal Kombat. So
No,
I don't know, Brian. I don't know, Brian.
hold on.
Have you ever played Soul Calibur?
I don't think so. By that
Okay.
time it came out, I was kind of like taking a hiatus from fighting games. Honestly, I'm trying to think which Mortal Kombat. It actually was a Mortal Kombat in the arcades. Kind of broke me. I was like, I don't really know if I'm into fighting games anymore.
Uh-oh.
Maybe the third one?
Oh,
No, Mortal
yeah,
Kombat Ultimate. Yeah, that was a
that breaks
yeah.
spirits.
That-
Yeah, you're not alone.
Yeah,
You're not
yeah,
alone. That
yeah.
breaks spirits.
That'll hurt
Yeah.
some feelings there. I get that. But
For
with
sure,
the
for
Soul
sure.
Calibur series, that was another one of those games that grabbed hold of me in the same way that Mortal Kombat did with that 2D fighting screen. And with Soul Calibur, each one of their characters, they had so much of a backstory and so much of a different fighting style, from Cervantes to Ivy to Volvo. All of them fought with different weapons, but when you put the Soul Edge in their hand, it was just so good watching their fighting style line up with using like this giant blade.
Sword.
Yeah, it's just giant sword, man, basically, and just watching them just chow down their opponent. So the Soul Edge always has a place in my heart for sure. Andy, what's your number 6?
I went with the Needler from the Halo series.
Oh, okay.
Another homing thing. You shoot it, it's going to hit somebody. It didn't do a lot of damage, but it was just, to me, fun.
Okay,
There's
so
nothing wrong with that.
to be fair, they nerfed it for 3.
Yes.
In Halo 2, if I remember right, you could dual wield them.
Yeah.
And then they nerfed it for 3 because you couldn't dual wield Needlers in the 3rd game.
Yeah. Brian?
What you got for 6?
The dubstep gun from Saints Row 4.
Oh, that's
Okay.
It wasn't even that good in terms of
That's
like
funny.
damage output. It's like if you wanted to be effective, it wasn't really even on your speed dial of selected. But like if you just wanted to make everybody start dancing in weird ways, and the dubstep
Nice.
they chose to go along with it is pretty good. You know, that little loop is pretty good. So it's a silly gun. It's a fun gun. You know what it is? It's something that like someone's watching you play Saints Row 4 and you're like, why do you even like this game? It's like, oh, well, see that crowd of people? Like, and then you whip it out and everybody's dubstepping to death, literally.
Nice. Good choice. Good choice.
Yeah, very good choice.
Weldy, number 6.
All right.
Well,
no, I got number.
well-
I'm at number 5.
Yeah, Weldy,
5.
number 5.
Yeah. So while I'm not good at this series of games, I have seen people that are very good at these games. Even people that play these games blindfolded become legends. If you can master the art of using Little Mac's fists in the
Oh.
Punch-Out series.
Oh, yeah.
It's an avant-garde,
Uh,
kind of. I just wanted to do something a little different. I wanted to get a couple that weren't going to overlap. So I threw that one on there.
Okay.
There was a guy that did a blindfold speedrun of Super Punch-Out for AGDQ a few years ago. That was one of the most wicked things I've ever seen video game wise.
Whoa, that's crazy.
Yeah, him and I actually ran in a marathon together one time.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, well, he ran a different day than I did, but it's like we were in the same marathon. I'm like rubbing elbows with the most famous people. Oh, it starts with a Z, and as soon as I think of it, I think it's like Zof. No, it's not Zofar.
So, Fran.
No, it's as soon as I think of it, I'll do it. But
Okay.
you became a legend once you were able to beat Mike Tyson or Mr. Dream.
Yeah.
It's not on my favorites list, but I still think it's one of the greatest one people don't think about when it comes to weapons.
I would not think about it because I would see that in the same sense of Mario stomping on a Goomba, basically.
Fair. Did you have that for number 5?
Negative, Captain.
Well, what did you have for number 5?
Number
That's how you do a segue, kids, by the way.
He did. He got me. I've been boomed. He boomed me. No, my number 5 is one that I think everybody will resonate with, and this is the blue shell from the Mario Kart series.
You mean the friendship ender?
You mean, yes. So for anybody who doesn't know this from listening to our episodes recently, and I think we did a Mario Kart episode.
Yes,
We did.
We did. You guys will all know that Ricky sucks at Mario. Like one of the very few multiplayer games that Ricky actually sucks at, and it is Mario Kart. I am not good at it. I have dumped hours into trying to get good at it, and I am still a scrub and not being good at it. The blue shell is like my best friend because if I have to suck and suffer, then everybody else is gonna have to suffer with me. So the blue shell is 10 out of 10 up there with the best weapons of all time because I have absolutely come back and not taken first place, but I have absolutely gone from like 12th or 13th to taking like 5th because of that blue shell. That absolutely hits at number 5. Andy, what about you?
This is where I put the Fat Man at.
Oh.
But I also couldn't decide between that or the Assaultron head. The Assaultron head is that robot lady that with big boobs and the laser eyes.
Yes.
Oh, go on.
She's a son of a bitch to kill.
You had my curiosity.
But once you kill her, then you can pick her head up and use her fucking laser eyes as a weapon.
You can? I didn't realize that.
Yeah,
What?
you can pick her head up and she'll...
What the fuck?
It's fucking crazy.
Okay, that's pretty cool. I mean, for all intents and purposes, killing one of those Assaultrons is
hard.
Horrible. It's like trying to kill like a Sarge or whatever, man. You're just at a loss, a standstill. It's like, well, I better quick save this and hope that I got enough ammo and stim packs to make it through.
Yeah, so I'm going to change mine to Assaultron head since you put the Fat Man down.
Fair enough.
Because I couldn't pick which Fallout weapon and I wanted a Fallout weapon.
I got you. Brian, what'd you have at number 5, kid?
The Serpent Staff from EverQuest.
Oh, man. Nice.
Yeah.
So probably the first MMO that Samantha and I played together was EverQuest, and it's not good. There's a reason why World of Warcraft came along and ate its lunch. But for the end game content, one of the things they had was this incredibly grindy quest to get your class's epic weapon. Samantha was an enchantress. She needed her weapon to be top-notch in raid teams and stuff like that. It was literal months of both of our lives, recruiting our guild and all other stuff. And when she finally got it, I mean, because EverQuest was so grindy. It was a crazy amount of grinding. And if you ever died, you lost like a week's worth of experience. It was nasty. People complain about the Dark Souls type of series. I'm like, no. Oh, did you have to go back to a save point? Okay, try losing a week's worth of work because somebody pulled a mob.
That's like diet caffeine-free permadeath, almost.
Right. And dungeons weren't instanced. So it's like if you needed, there was a Cyclops you needed to kill that only spawned like once a week. But guess what? Every enchantress on the server wanted to kill the Cyclops. This is the early days of message boards and things. There would actually be rotations where you'd have to like sign up to kill the Cyclops. So not a good game. And the weapon in itself was not that effective overall. But man, it was like 6 months of getting my wife something that was really important to her. And it was so cool to watch her run around with the Serpent Staff. So the Serpent Staff from the original EverQuest.
So was that like your way of proposing to her? Or was that like after y'all were married?
We were already married. So this is me trying to show up for her.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
No, that's totally
By the
fair.
way, I never got mine. I take one look at that and I'm like, yeah, no, I'm good. Like, what? Like, yeah, sure.
This is for you, babe.
Yeah.
Like, no, I don't need this. You're good. No.
No, I'm totally not jealous. No,
I wasn't even on the raid team. Like, I'm not grinding out what I need to do to be on the raid team. But yeah, it was such like a crazy formative moment in our gaming lives. It's like I had to put it on there.
Nice. Fair enough. Well, what do you got for number 4?
I got a couple on here.
A couple?
I got a couple. I can't decide which one I want at 4.
Okay. Well, how about you pick one and then the other one can go on honorable mentions?
Yeah, I think you're right. Mega Buster.
Okay.
Mega Man.
No, I mean, like, that would absolutely, like, I'm surprised that's not your number 1.
It's because I think because I've gotten more into a speedrun mentality for video games, I can't speedrun Mega Man games. I'm so bad at speedrunning Mega Man games, so I kind of fell out.
His favorite video game, and he can't speedrun it, gang. And listen to this man. He's almost in tears over here on the podcast for this.
Yeah, I thought about putting a Mega Man in and I didn't. Just because I didn't play it very much, but great series for sure.
Ricky, what you got for number 4?
So from number 4, I have a weapon from the Resident Evil 4 series, which if everybody knows me, I am a big Resident Evil 4 person. So my weapon is the Broken Butterfly, which is a Magnum. It's one of the later game weapons that you can buy, but when you use it, it is basically like a one-shot kill weapon. I know that some of my friends thought that I was going to be using the Chicago typewriter, which is a machine gun.
Thought about it.
Or maybe even the rocket launcher, which is an absolute one-shot kill on all the bosses. But no, I wanted to go with either the Broken Butterfly or the Red 9, because both of those weapons I really enjoyed using, especially once you max them out. The Red 9 is actually a really good handgun once you max it out and you have the stock for it. And then the Broken Butterfly is also a really good late game weapon. If you pull up your old save after completing the game the first time and you still have the Broken Butterfly, you just go through the game, you're just like one-shotting everybody with the Magnum ammo. It's fun. It's a fun weapon. I enjoy it a lot. I love the noise it makes when you shoot people with it. So 10 out of 10, me and Leon with the Broken Butterfly, top tier team. Andy, what do you have for number 4?
This is where I started getting crazy. The Holy Hand Grenade from the Worms series.
Okay. That is a good one.
Yeah.
Obviously,
Wow.
Monty Python
Yeah.
call out, but just the fact that you drop it and it does the whole.
Wow, that's a great pick. I have the chainsaw gun from Gears of War.
You got me. That's my
that's-
number 1.
I would have put that, and I
Yeah.
considered putting that, but I didn't play Gears of War that much, if at all,
Oh.
aside from like a couple of times multiplayer with friends. But I considered it. I'm glad someone put that on their list.
My wife and I love any type of cover-based shooters and good co-op. Like if I'm going to spend time playing games, like getting to play it with people I care about is like top tier. It kind of comes and goes, the trend of co-op in the industry. And I really don't like it when it's like, oh, we're not doing co-op for this. And when Gears of War came out, kind of gave it a chance. I was like, this looks kind of hokey or whatever. And the first time you figure out how to pull off that animation where the gun just goes, and then on top of that, it was just a really good game. I mean, Samantha and I think we played all of them. It was a really cool, fun game to play co-op. So yeah, that gun is so much fun. So much fun.
Might I give you a suggestion if you like co-op shooters?
Yes.
Army of Two.
Yep.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't know if I played
Awesome
it.
storyline.
It is an
Okay, cool.
amazing storyline. And then there's a sequel. So there's 2 of them. There's Army
Nice.
of Two and then Army of Two 40th Day.
I think so, yeah.
Okay.
Something like that.
I think
yeah.
it's 40th Day. It's kind of the same similar. It's a third-person shooter, but it's literally like you don't have a team. It's you two.
Nice. I love that.
My Aunt Liz and I, we
Yeah.
ripped through Army of Two.
We love Liz here.
Yes, we do.
Nice.
I forget. There was a movie. It was Savages. I think. If you've ever seen Savages, it's 2 guys. Their girlfriend. It's like a throuple kind of thing.
Thing.
Their
Was there
girlfriend
a
got
pizza place
kidnapped.
involved?
Did what?
Yeah. The girl gets kidnapped by the cartel or whatever, and the 2 men who are dating her have to go
They
rescue
wear the
her.
awesome mask. That's essentially kind of the gameplay.
I remember it. I want to say I played it, but I can't remember right now off the top of my head. I'll have to go look it up.
There's a game for the both of you to
2 games.
Yeah, 2 games.
2
for
games.
the
So
Jam
yeah,
to-
don't say we never did anything.
Wait, is that the one where you could like buy different skins and like some of the skins are like gold plated, whatever?
Oh god, we weren't buying extra anything.
I want to say we played this.
This is 2012 when I was rolling pennies for beer. Like, I wasn't buying extra anything.
But that's not true. You were coming over to our house to have beer for free.
Oh, that's exactly right. Yeah.
And we always kept a fridge for it.
Yes, that's true too.
Yeah, anyway, I kind of remember, but definitely worth a revisit for sure.
I would say yeah. So my number 3, I also went Halo franchise for this one. I did not take the Needler. I took the Plasma Sword.
Oh,
Mhm.
nice.
In the Halo 3 series, I was booty cheeks with a gun. But if I had a shotgun or the little mini sawed-off shotguns that you could dual wield, or the plasma sword, or I guess the gravity hammer to a lesser extent, if I got any of those plus invisibility, those were the best times.
The best of times, the worst of times.
It sure was. Ricky, what you got for 3?
So this is going to be a very niche weapon here that a lot of people probably won't even understand unless you have played the game. But mine comes from Twisted Metal 2. I'm sure Weldy will actually love this one.
Mhm.
It is the Ricochet Bomb, which is the small bomb that you lob at people. It doesn't just deal damage, but it also bounces your opponent. It knocks them away from you like X amount of distance. So if you are on one of the buildings that has a drop off, if you throw a Ricochet Bomb at them at the right moment, at the right angle, you boom, right off the building they go, and that's a wrap on them. It is absolutely one of my favorites, especially when you're either playing on New York or the Antarctic level,
Yeah.
which Antarctic drops down anyways. It breaks down to like a small slab of ice. That bomb, it's 10 out of 10. It's a great experience.
It's almost like you bowl it. It's like bowling.
Yeah, it
And
is. That's what it is. And it even sounds like you're lobbing like bowling balls down in the lane when you throw it. It just and then it hits somebody and then it explodes and then it knocks them back with that explosion.
That's a tactic that is used in these speedruns, by the way.
Is it?
Yes.
See, I
Makes sense.
Yeah,
had
so in New York, you can get a thing of Ricochet under the red building, then you hop to the gray building where there's another set, and then you go down to the bottom building, which would be the lowest part of the level before that's not falling off the side of the building. So you get 6 ricochets right there, and you have 6 opponents in that level. So you can hide and wait for them to come to you.
they will. They do every time. So that is my number 3 is the Ricochet Bomb. Andy, what about you? What do you got for numero 3?
So number 3, I had to put a chainsaw in here, which was going to be the Lancer, but I couldn't decide.
Oh.
So I picked 3 of these. I want to bring them up. So obviously the Lancer from Gears of War. I thought about doing the Great Communicator from Doom, but I went with Adam's chainsaws from Dead Rising. Because you can dual wield chainsaws, and Ricky knows from playing Zombicide with me, I made myself a Zombicide character who dual wields chainsaws.
He did.
Nice.
And for those who have never played Zombicide, Zombicide is one of those tabletop D&D style board games that instead of you fighting like warlocks and wizards and goblins, you are instead fighting zombies with your friends. We have 2 editions of it. 3
or 4.
Actually, I think we might actually have purchased like
of them.
3 or 4 of them. Mind you, they're like $150 a pop, but 10 out of 10 worth it. But yeah, I totally understand where Andy's coming from.
Brian?
The sword from Legend of Zelda.
The Master Sword from Legend of Zelda?
No.
No.
The first one you get.
The OG
First
one.
The very first sword you ever get in any Zelda game ever. You walk into that cave and he says it's dangerous to go alone. Take this.
Okay.
That moment, first couple screens, you're trying to figure out what's going on. And, you know, when I first got the game, I was playing at a friend's house. He had a Nintendo and I didn't. You know, you got to play this, pop it in, and you're just confused. You're walking around, and then all of a sudden you're holding a sword and the whole game changes. And to me, that was really the beginning of my love affair with Zelda.
Nice.
I thought about picking something from the Ocarina of Time, which is one of my favorites, or even something new from Breath of the Wild.
Okay, I'm not going to say I will agree with you 50%. I will say
great.
Breath of the Wild is a phenomenal masterpiece.
Yes.
I can't do Ocarina. I just can't do it.
Okay.
I can't do it. I can't do it.
He hates Ocarina so much, man. He hates it so much.
It pretends to be an open world game, but it's really like railroading you along.
I went in with super high expectations, but that's a whole different episode.
I don't think any Zelda game before like Breath of the Wild was an open world game. And I think that's what makes Breath of the Wild a masterpiece, is because they managed to keep the feels like a Zelda game, but it is open world. That is so cool. My favorite is probably the N64 one, where you get the Pegasus boots and things like that. And that's definitely not open world. That's linear as heck.
Right.
But anyway, that's the sword from the first. Very, very first.
The OG sword.
The OG sword.
That's impressively put on there. Nicely done.
Yeah, good
Thank
job.
you.
That's one I would not expect. Weldy, number 2.
Number 2.
Number two. I put the one, the only, the vampire killer from Castlevania.
Oh, okay.
Oh, nice.
The whip.
Okay, there we
Yeah.
go.
Which is essentially kind of, in a way, useless until you get to Super Castlevania 4. Then you can use it to do essentially anything. I really wish I would have stuck with speedrunning Super Castlevania 4 and not given up on it. But that game, the hitboxes are such bullshit. You don't need any weapons, really. Well, I mean, you use the boomerang, the triple boomerang for bosses, but Super Castlevania 4, the whip pretty much does all my work for me. It's passed down through generation, and it's throughout the entire series. So that's why I had to put it on there. Ricky, what you got for 2?
Number 2. So for any and everybody that listens to this podcast, or anybody who plays a wrestling game, will absolutely understand exactly where I'm coming from when I say my number 2 video game weapon is the steel chair.
Nice.
By God.
Sorry, stop the goddamn match.
Everybody who has ever played a wrestling game has done the tradition of reaching under the mat, pulling out a steel chair, and whacking their opponent over the head with it. And if you played a good wrestling game, sometimes you get a bit of a crimson mask out of them, I should say, where the screen flashes bright red for just like half a second, and then you look back, the mat is turning red, their face is turning red, and lo and behold, you have done the time-honored tradition of cracking their skull open like it was an Easter, like it was an Easter bunny's eggs.
I always love when you play the newer WWE. Like, I think I had 12 or 13. I was at a match. The ref was out. I went to go outside, and there was just a little blurb that said, for a split second, it said, press X popped up. I'm like, wait, what?
Yeah.
And I walked back, and I pressed X, and then I was like, my God, it's a chair.
Yeah. Yeah. So I will say, and this goes back, I don't know, 20, 30 years, I suppose, now at this point in me playing these wrestling games, of me going outside of the ring and me grabbing a chair. And again, there are some games that I'm actually really good at, and there are some games where my friends are better than me at. And wrestling games, sometimes my friends can be better than me at.
I don't even want to talk to you about.
So not Weldy.
No,
but
I'm still pissed
there
off.
are some friends that are better than.
So, Brian, if you hadn't heard one of the earlier episodes, about 5-10 years ago, Ricky and I were at his house here in town.
It's over 10 years at this point, but that's how old we are.
We played an I Quit match. That match lasted at least an hour.
I'll put it like this. It lasted 2 phone calls from his wife. Her calling him and him being like, I'll be home in 15 minutes. And then her calling him back about 30 minutes later and being like, where are you? And he's like, give me 15 more minutes.
At first it was fun. And then about 45 minutes in, we're both like, say I quit. No, you say I quit, bitch. No, you bitch, you say I quit.
Yeah.
We're like screaming at
We
each
are
other.
screaming top of our lungs in my bedroom. You say I quit. It's pretty ridiculous, but it's absolutely 10 out of 10. One of the best times I've ever had playing, where both of us were like very surprised that the other person did not quit the match.
It ended up being not just our wrestlers, it was both of us not saying I quit.
Yeah, both of us like being like, I'm not done yet. I still have a little fight left in me.
That's crazy.
I'm so salty I lost.
And me winning that made it all the better when Wody got home to his wife and he had to explain to her what took an hour for him to get home.
70 minutes we played. It was Daniel Bryan versus John Cena, and we were playing at, was it WrestleMania 3? We were playing at the Vegas venue. We were outdoors at the Vegas venue, I think, right?
We were playing one of the SmackDown versus Raw games. This is one of the two. I don't know, whichever one I have, PlayStation 3 at the time. So that will definitely tell you that it was absolutely 10 years ago.
Yeah.
He had Daniel Bryan, I had Dolph Ziggler. Both of their staminas were at like maxed out at 99, mind you. That wasn't us custom creating. That was the actual characters.
That was the actual characters. That's how long that match took. Both staminas were at 0.
Yeah, and both of the characters went the limit. It was a fun time up until it wasn't a fun time, where it became, this will be a fun match, and then it became more of a...
Shit got personal.
Yeah, it became one of those like, I really hate you, dude. I just need you to quit. That's just how it kind of boiled down to. It was fun, and that's why the steel chair, I've had that much fun with other friends where matches have gone longer than what you expect them to. And I could have put the table or the sledgehammer. I could have said jumping off of the fist or anything else from these video games that people might remember. But there is no weapon better than the steel chair, and watching the pixels fold over the head of the skull of your opponent and then disappear after you hit them 4 times with it.
That's amazing.
You hit someone 4 times with one chair, the chair disappears and you got to roll out of the ring and grab another chair. That's my number 2. Andy, what is your number 2?
Mine's also from Saints Row 4.
Is this the...
Can you take a stab in the dark?
Is it the dildo?
Yes,
Is it the dildo gun?
That is hilarious. Oh, yeah.
Oh, it's great.
Fucking 8-foot dildo slapping people around with it. Especially when you put no gravity fucking whatever on. They fly off into never space. Can't get enough of that. I had to put it at number 2 because every time it makes me giggle.
Fair enough.
Brian, my friend, what'd you have for number 2?
You guys came close to my number 2, but you never selected it. So I'm going to just tell you. The Proximity Mines from GoldenEye.
Oh,
I thought about that
Oh,
one.
I thought about that, man. I did.
So here's the thing about Odd Job with a Golden Gun.
Oh, jeez.
He can't shoot you if he's splattered all over the wall. Away. Many years ago, when GoldenEye first came out, we had a friends group. There were 4 of us, and we played couch co-op all the time. We loved couch co-op. GoldenEye on the N64 was my game. It got to the point where, in order to make it fair, we had one of those old, TVs weren't flat screen yet. We had picture-in-picture. It would put on a basketball game over my screen, try to distract me. It was the only way it would even come close to being fair. I could kind of see the edges of my environment, but I couldn't see my character.
That's
then
impressive.
there was this guy, friend of a friend, who said, oh, I'm the best ever at GoldenEye. And I don't really get into those kind of pissing contests, but I was like, oh, cool, awesome. And he came over one time and he wanted to play, and we're like, cool, sit down. And he's like, are you guys going to be like pussies and say I can't play Odd Job? I'm like, nah, you can play Odd Job.
Oh,
you can totally play Odd Job.
This guy.
And I'm like, yeah, you can totally play Odd Job. Oh, I can't use a golden gun? I'm like, you can totally use a golden gun, man. Use a golden
gun is odd job. I do not care.
That should have been a red flag for him, by the way.
Yeah, that's a red flag as a friend.
Yeah, I was gonna say when you're like, yeah, you go ahead. I'll give you all the best stuff and the cheetah character.
Totally,
You
yeah.
go
This
right on
guy.
The remote mines were good too, but what I like about the proximity mines is you not only have to know the maps well enough and anticipate where your opponent's going to go, you have to remember where you put them because prox mines will friendly fire you.
Yep.
Yeah, they will.
So you can't just set it and then, I'm running by one of my own mines, don't hit the remote button. You have to remember every prox mine you placed. And he left in a huff. He was pretty mad.
GG's.
That was the last time we saw him, unfortunately. What a great guy.
What a shame. That's a shame.
Shout out to that guy.
Wait, are we,
shout out.
well, are we gonna add him to the unshout out list?
Let's add that guy.
Yeah,
to the shout
that
list.
guy.
Yes.
That guy.
That guy.
All right, hold on. It's going on.
Say that guy who was a sword loser and gold.
And shout out to the Odd Job Golden Gun guy.
Yeah, unshout out to the Odd Job Gold Knight guy.
Okay.
Everybody had a friend like that, by the way.
Oh, yeah.
Everybody.
Totally. Yeah. Luckily for me, I was pretty lucky with my friends group. A lot of my friends were either from high school or college or whatever. It was always a friend of a friend. They didn't last. You know what I mean? It's like everyone kind of like, yeah, this guy harshes the vibe. By the way, it was never a woman. Like all the women were cool. It was always that guy.
That guy.
Yep, that guy.
All right, so we have him added to our list. By the way, an update, our unshout out list for 2025. We have David Zaslav, the Ultimate Warrior, Jimmy Superfly Snuka.
Yeah, fuck that guy.
All of Ricky's old coworkers, except that one.
Okay.
Hulk Hogan,
Yeah.
The Cake, Caillou, that bald ass bitch,
Fuck Caillou. Fuck Caillou.
Goofus, and the Odd Job Golden Gun guy. That's our.
Can I add one?
Oh, absolutely.
Whoever came up with adding microtransactions to video games.
Yes. Whoever that person is, they deserve to rot forever somewhere. Horrible.
Sure. I want to stick that person in a 5-star hotel, penthouse suite, lock them in forever, and make everything cost extra.
Oh,
You
yes.
want air, it's extra. You want water, it's extra. You want to sleep in the bed, it's extra. You want air conditioning, it's extra. Everything's extra. Oh, and I want the DLC to be a hot woman coming over, but it just somehow is never ready out of beta testing.
It's
Yes, I agree with this. I would have agreed with this being the best burglarizing someone's house. If we could have made it
This
that.
is more kidnapping yeah.
you take everything from their house, but you microtransaction for them to have it
Totally.
back. Like 99 cents for your couch or $1.99 for your lamp.
50 cents a battery.
50 cents a battery.
50 cents a battery.
Hey,
you could
I
do-
got some great news. Your kid's DLC just dropped. It's $49.99 a month.
I got $1 per tissue paper that you use.
Yeah.
Oh.
It's $1 for 1-ply, $2 for 2-ply
Oh.
per sheet.
Love that.
All right, here's a 50. I just had Taco Bell. All right, so
Kids, this is why you get a bidet.
But the bad news is the toilet is extra. Like, the toilet, you gotta unlock it. You gotta unlock the toilet. You didn't unlock it. Just insert your credit card right now.
and speaking of unlocking things, you happen to unlock the number one on my list. You unlocked Chainsaw Lancer from Gears of
Oh,
War.
yes.
I could add a new number one just for shits and giggles, just because I don't think any of you guys are going to have it. My honorable mention that I was going to have at number 4, I had the spread gun from Contra
Ooh.
and
Yeah.
Super
Yes.
Smash TV. That always seemed to bail
Yes.
me out in a sticky situation. But I think instead, just for disparity purposes, I'm going to go with the Screw Attack from
Oh,
the
okay,
Metroid
okay.
series.
Hey, that's actually pretty good.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I'm just gonna go with- it's not like an inherent
God,
weapon,
Metroid's
but
so good.
oh yeah, I think that's what I'm gonna go with. But Chainsaw Lancer, man, I still remember I was in my buddy's living room. I was playing by myself. They were out smoking or drinking or something. First time I saw somebody in half. That is the only time in my life I ever stopped the game, stared at it, and went, "Holy shit!" It was wicked. So I can understand why it's on your list, but it is my absolute favorite. But I guess I will go with Screw Attack just for disparity purposes. Ricky, what you got for number 1?
Number 1, if anyone has listened to this podcast, especially the Super Smash Brothers episode, you will already know that this is my number 1 choice for a weapon. It is the baseball bat.
Okay.
Which, if any of you have ever played Super Smash Brothers, you will all understand that power up right at the
Yep.
perfect moment when
Timing.
you just time it perfect. perfectly when someone is right in front of your face and you just let loose on it. It just knocks them clean off of the fucking screen and sends them into no man's land. And you're like, that was a perfect KO.
Speaking of baseball bat, did you say you were a Ness main in
No.
that game or
No, I am not. I am a Kirby main.
Okay, 'cause
And-
I'm like
That's
baseball
how-
bat. I'm like, are you a
Which-
Ness main?
Which,
Okay.
by the way, Ness also carries a baseball bat as one of his slight specialties.
That's kind of
and
why
if-
I thought maybe you
and
would have
if you-
said that.
And if you catch someone correctly with his baseball bat, it will also knock them off the screen, but it is not as guaranteed as the actual baseball bat weapon. But Andy says yes, and he understands who my main is because I am an absolute terrorist playing with Kirby. I am the worst type of Kirby player. I am the one that hovers around the entire fucking map the whole time and then drops down and bricks people when I notice that they're low on health.
Mm-hmm.
Or I will just continue to troll them and downbeat them the whole time, which is me turning into a brick form, lowering their health little by little by little until finally it knocks them off of the map. Or my favorite type of kill with Kirby is sucking them up, yeah, baby, and then walking off the screen, dropping down, and then spitting them out and floating back up afterwards, and then getting back to the stage. And they're like, I don't have enough jump for this. And I'm like, I'm Kirby. I float up B, and I'm back on the stage, and you are dead. All right. But the baseball bat is 10 out of 10. One of those weapons for me that is almost like lining up the Falcon Punch perfectly.
Mm-hmm.
But, you know, the Falcon Punch is a little bit harder to do. But that baseball bat, just hitting that perfectly, hearing that actual connection of it, yeah, that ka-ching. I don't know. I guess that's how it might sound in my head. I'm old. I'm sorry, guys.
Speaking of being old and
But
sorry,
that's what it is. Andy, what is
Yeah, I was
your
gonna
number
say, Andy,
one?
what's your number one?
Brian kind of took mine. Mine is the Master Sword.
Oh,
Nice.
okay.
So can't fight
Nice.
that. That's
Yeah,
a fucking
that's
kick-ass
fair.
weapon. It's the fucking iconic. It's what it is.
Yeah, Brian's got a pretty good list. So
Brian
I'm really,
has had a fantastic
he's had a
list.
very good list.
Yeah.
I'm kind of curious to see what
Thank
Brian.
you.
What's your number one?
So you guys danced around it, and I thought about saying, oh, you guys got my number one. But the thing is, you really didn't, because you all said blue. Now, let me tell you, kids, let me tell you of the early days of the original Mario Kart on N64.
Oh no,
Stop.
that hurts my
There
heart.
was no blue shell, folks. There was no blue shell. You had green, which went straight and would bounce off walls, and you had red.
Which homed in.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that red shell was brutal. Yeah,
That red show was it. Yeah.
Yep.
So here's an interesting fact. If you're playing 1v1, where you just are playing against another person, and the map was a series of squares with openings, like there would be opening down the center and opening on the latitude. It was like a series of squares that had been cut open by a cross. Now here's an interesting thing about the red shell. If you were going down one corridor, you could do a hop turn slide, fire a red shell at someone who had not even barely entered the section. That red shell, if you positioned it correctly, would go down the corridor, make a hard left turn, and hit them before they ever had eyes on you.
I could never do that. It always hit the corner of the wall beforehand.
Yes. Now, if you are, let's say, a 20-something-year-old guy who loves video games and works nights, and whose wife also loves video games, so she doesn't mind you spending hours, let's say, perfecting this hop turn into a red shell shoot, you could become basically unstoppable. And let's say that all your friends come over for a party and you're not very much of a social person, and you decide to play all comers for 4 hours with picture-in-picture over your screen, and you lose one match in 4 hours.
Dang, that's impressive.
I loved the red shell. I loved the red shell. It was amazing. And of course, everybody hated it. But I chose the red shell from the original N64 Mario Kart. No, it wasn't even N64, was it? No, it was
Super
the original.
Nintendo.
It was the Super Nintendo. It wasn't even the N64 Mario Kart wasn't, the 1v1 battles wasn't nearly as fun in the N64. The original Super Nintendo Mario Kart red shell.
We can watch Weldy speedrun on YouTube.com.
Yeah.
Well, it's actually funny because I do speedrun that game, but I don't play with other people.
No,
or
you just do
other.
time
I
trial.
just do time trials.
That's such a great game.
It
Amazing.
is.
Do a quick recap on all of our things.
Yeah, Go ahead. Okay. Mine 7-1. I had the Wii Remote as a physical weapon. The Fat Man, Little Max Fists. I had the Mega Buster. I had Plasma Sword, Vampire Killer, and then number 1, I had the Chainsaw Lancer.
For my 7-1, I had the Golden Gun, the Soul Edge from Soul Calibur, the Blue Shell from the Mario Kart series, the Broken Butterfly from Resident Evil 4, the Ricochet Bomb from Twisted Metal 2, the Steel Chair from wrestling games, and then my number 1 was the baseball bat from the Super Smash series, which honestly really was pretty close with the Pokeball as well from the Super Smash series.
Here is my list of Ricky's top 7.
Oh, he has my top. So Andy made a top 7. So I want to hear this. Okay.
How close was I? So Golden Gun, I got that one. I thought the actual Soul Calibur, the Yuga, I had to look it up. So I was kind of close. The Blue Shell, got that one. I was guessing Infinite Rocket Launcher for Resident Evil.
He did not get it, so he's down 2.
Yep, I was guessing Napalm from Twisted Metal.
He's down 3.
Then I said the chair, so I got that one.
That is.
But I also said or table.
And
then I also said or the Crippled Cross.
Jesus, but I'm not that evil.
And then number 1, I guess Pokeball. So almost.
So Andy had 3 out of 7.
Andy, what was your 7?
My number 7, the AT420 Centennial from The World Is Not Enough, the Needler from Halo. I changed mine, I guess, to the Assaultron head from Fallout series, the Holy Hand Grenade from Worms, Adam's Chainsaws from Dead Rising, the Dildo Bat from Saints Row 4, and the Master Sword as my number 1.
And then Brian, who I thought had the best list out of all of us. Brian, what was your 7?
I had the Scorpion Spear from Mortal Kombat, the Dubstep Gun from Saints Row 4, the Epic Serpent Staff from the original EverQuest, the Chainsaw Gun from Gears of War, the very first sword ever in the Zelda series in Legend of Zelda, Prox Mines from GoldenEye, and the Red Shell from Mario Kart Super Nintendo version.
And if there's any that you out there listening thinks that we missed, Andy is over there dying, so I'll take for him. Hey, Weldy, where can they reach us at? Hey, they can reach us at retrosmashed@gmail.com, retrosmashed@gmail.com. And one more time for the kids in the back, hit us up at retrosmashed@gmail.com. It is time for Happy Time.
Thank you, Brian, for reaching out to
Wait,
Retrosmash.
before we move on to Happy Time,
what's up?
I just want to say, my wife Morgan and I had a huge argument today because we were talking about my list. And she's like, Consecration, the Paladin Consecration from World of Warcraft. And I said, that's a skill, not a weapon. And it got heated. I was like, no, it's a weapon. I'm like, it's not a weapon. It's the holy light emanating from the Paladin. It's like, that's a weapon. I'm like, okay, so.
Well, if I can use Little Max Fists, which is technically not a weapon per
Fists
se.
are a weapon.
No, okay. So we're going to get in. So I just want to interject here.
Bruce Lee's fists were registered weapons.
I have been waiting for this because I was hoping this would come up at some point. I'm just going to throw this out here right now. Little Max fists aren't weapons, but I let you get away with it because you were looking for something to add to your list. However, again, like I said, I could have used that is akin to saying that Mario's feet are weapons when you're playing the original Mario Brothers game and he's stomping on Goombas or the fucking.
It does kill.
Now, honestly, I could have put Screw Attack or Spread Gun there, but I was afraid one of you guys were going to do it, and no one has played Metroid like that.
However, I'm inclined to agree with Brian on this one. Skills aren't weapons. When I think of a weapon, I think of something not so much like as I've used Fireball on object. You, or like I use Lightning Bolt on you.
Well, wait a minute.
Hold on. Is Hadouken
yes, that's what I feel like.
So you don't hold lightning? So Raiden doesn't fucking hold lightning?
No, Raiden does not hold lightning. He shoots it from his hands.
So it has to come from his hands.
He shoots it.
Wait, hold on.
And I would not consider that a weapon. I consider that a projectile.
We're doing this right now.
Oh my God. I guess forget Happy Time game. I'll put it like this. If you guys want this argument, you might as well skip out on Happy Time. So I'll let you pick.
Well, if you want this argument, hit us up. Where can they hit us up, Andy?
There you go.
We just...
oh, that's right. retrosmash@gmail.com.
Happy time, people.
Hey, happy time, people. Happy 25th anniversary to the launch of Pokemon Stadium in Europe. Ooh. Happy 30th anniversary to a Goofy movie released in theaters April 7th, 1995.
30 years.
30 years.
30 years. Oh my gosh.
Yes, this is your reminder to take ibuprofen for your
Seeing
back.
it eye to eye at 30 years old. Oh my lord. And I still can't play it at karaoke because Disney won't release that song as a karaoke track.
Happy 71st birthday to somebody whose
Andy?
fists might actually be registered weapons. Jackie Chan, 71 years old
Wow.
this week. Happy return to glory, the dire wolf.
Oh, yes.
Yes, I saw that.
Yeah, resurrected from extinction, Romulus and Remus are not just clones, they're modern wolves, carefully engineered with 20 specific genetic edits to mirror the physical traits and spirit of the original dire wolf, one of the most iconic predators of the Ice Age. There are literally 6 movies that say why this is a bad idea.
I do not believe those movies.
Eurotrip, 21 years ago this
R.I.P.
week.
Scotty doesn't know. Scotty doesn't know.
So don't
Scotty
tell
doesn't
Scotty.
know. Don't tell Scotty because Scotty doesn't know.
I still use the phrase, hey, this isn't where I parked my car to get out of a sticky situation. This isn't where I parked my car. But you know where I did park my car? Somewhere in Midnight Club 3 that turned 20 years old.
Dub Edition? Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition, huh?
Mm-hmm.
Wow, I owned Midnight Club 3 Dub Edition, and it was a very fun game to play. It had a really banging soundtrack. I missed games like that, like the Midnight Club games where all your entire goal is just like pimp out cars and just race them. And maybe they still make games like that. I don't know. I don't see any advertisements for them ever, but those games were fun. I had a blast playing them. Their soundtracks were really great.
Need for Speed Underground 2 was that was tight as hell.
I'm never going to play a Gran Turismo game because I am not good enough for that. But those other games I am good enough for, so I know that much.
We have the ever rare double Happy Trails here. The first half is Happy Trails Publishers Clearinghouse.
Oh.
Filed for Chapter 11 bankruptcy this week.
No, they never knocked on my door with that giant novelty check.
Mhm, no balloons, no old lady coming to the door with her Cookie Monster pants and just... No, that's the other half. Happy Trails to everything you've ever known in your entire life. Ed McMahon was never a spokesman for Publishers Clearinghouse.
What?
No, your entire life is a fucking lie.
What? Is this a Mandela
There is-
effect?
yes, there is no evidence that McMahon ever worked for Publishers Clearinghouse. He was, however, a spokesman for American Family Publishers. In an old television commercials for American Family Publishers, the word publishers appeared much smaller than American Family. Perhaps the company knew that so many American households had confused the two brands, believing McMahon worked for the competition. So they did something very, very, very
What?
similar.
I swear I've seen him
Yeah.
hold that big ass check.
No, it wasn't for that company.
You're
That-
telling me that Ed McMahon never went, hi
Well, he did go
in someone's house for the Publishers Clearinghouse.
He probably went hi-oh for Coke.
You're lying to me. This is bullshit. I don't believe this at all. I am being lied to right now, gang.
That's what I thought too. They were talking about it on the local radio station near us. They were talking about it all morning on Monday, and I'm like, my entire life is a fucking lie. Yeah, now you're gonna Google it, aren't you?
No, I don't care that much about it, honestly. What else you got, bud?
Happy 136th birthday, or I guess heavenly birthday to Charlie Chaplin.
Married with Children debuted 38 years ago. It was on your little 80s
Oh
list.
my gosh.
Wow.
Love and marriage.
Ernest Goes to Jail 35 years ago.
Oh my gosh.
The series finale of All in the Family 46 years ago.
Wowzers.
The debut of In Living Color 35 years ago.
I loved In Living Color. It was so
Fireman
good.
Ed, yep.
It's so good.
21 years ago. Wayne Brady appeared on the Dave Chappelle show.
Nice. Is Wayne Brady gonna have to choke a bitch?
Is Wayne Brady gonna have to? No, Mr. Franklin is lonely.
I'm Wayne Brady, bitch. I'm just waiting for Wayne Brady to sue our very inexistent podcast now for like having had mentioned that.
And 30 years ago, Jasper threatened Springfield Elementary for that's a paddling.
Oh. There's a problem. I still, to this day, the fact that Chris Farley died one day before the Titanic debuted in theaters is still...
Kind of
It's,
fucked up.
it's mind blowing, honestly.
It is.
You know what's even crazier? 90% of Shrek, he had his voice recorded for, and then he died before they finished recording his voice for it. Then they end up having to switch it over to Mike Myers
They
instead.
made 12 other movies.
Like, how would the timeline look if Chris Farley would have lived just long enough for the first Shrek movie to come out? How crazy crazy would that have been?
Hot take: if Chris Farley was still alive, we would have no idea who Zach Galifianakis was.
Ooh.
Yeah, fair.
Ooh, that's a hot take.
That's
That
a hot
is a
take because
very hot
Farley
take.
would have been in The Hangover. And that movie would have been fucking legendary.
I disagree with
Yeah,
that.
he would have been too old.
All right.
He would have been in his 50s.
Hotter take.
50s.
Hotter take. If John Belushi hadn't died, you wouldn't know who Chris Farley was.
Very fair.
That's
yeah, no, that's
super
fair.
true.
Yeah,
Mhm.
no, that's an actual better take.
That's-
Yeah,
that's a good take.
I
you
agree
wouldn't
with
have
that.
Living with Jim.
We would not. Oh no!
According to Jim, that's
According to
According to Jim.
Okay,
Sorry.
So
that's-
his younger brother would not
Yeah.
have had a show, is what you're saying. Oh my gosh!
Whoa, baby.
Oh,
And finally, happy trails to about 8 months going on a cruise for one Michigan man who was upset he was left to watch the pets when his girlfriend went on a cruise to the Caribbean with her family, was sentenced Monday to 8 months in prison for making a false bomb threat.
Ooh.
Investigation began after the man sent an email to Carnival Cruise Line in January 24 that read, "Hey, I think someone might have a bomb on your Sunshine cruise ship."
What the fuck?
According to court records. The threat caused the vessel, which had departed from Miami, to be escorted by Jamaican maritime authorities to a port in their country. He was sentenced during an appearance in Kalamazoo. He had been indicted in September on making a bomb threat. The ship was fully booked and staffed, which authorities had to conduct a search, which included checking more than 1,100 cabins. Guest capacity for the Sunrise is 2,984, according to the Carnival Cruise Line website. They traced the email address to him, who was living with his girlfriend's family.
Oh, cool.
So he was living with them
What
at
a
the
nice
time.
gentleman.
Yeah, got super salty. Public defender did not immediately respond Wednesday to requests for comment about the sentencing. And speaking to things that absolutely bomb, Andy, where can they find you?
Wolf.
That's how you do a segue, kids, by the way.
You can find our podcast at retro_smashed on Twitter /X. You can find us on Blue Sky at Retro Smashed. You can follow us on YouTube at Retro Smashed, Instagram Retro Smashed. I feel like I'm missing stuff. Whatever.
you can find us somewhere on the internet if
Yes,
you look
just
up
type in
Retro
Retro
Smash
Smash.
Video Game Podcast, and you'll find us somewhere.
Send emails, retrosmashed@gmail.com. Follow us on Patreon, Retro Smashed. If you pay that $1, you get this shout out. So shout out to our third Patreon member. Hello.
Our third patron.
Michael, I don't know if I want to put your last name out there because I don't
Just
want you
say
to be
Michael. We're
doxxed.
just saying Michael.
There we go.
But if you want to change your name, let us know so I can put your name out there instead. Also, shout out Dane H. Streetcar and our other Patreon member, Zombie Loves Pie. Thank you for subscribing. Your money motivate me to keep editing. 'cause it's annoying.
Don't listen to him saying that. It literally helps us grow our podcast a lot more. It helps us reach out to bigger networks. It also helps us make merchandise. So thank you for your continued patronage. We appreciate all of you sincerely.
And seriously, I don't even care if you're a Patreon member or not. Just shoot me an email somewhere or somehow or some whatever. I got a bajillion fucking bumper stickers. I'm sending them out. Give me an address. Brian, give me an address. You get some bumper stickers.
You get a bumper sticker. You get a bumper
get a
sticker.
bumper
You get a
sticker.
bumper sticker.
Ricky, do you exist on the internet?
Sure. If you actually want to find me on the internet, I exist on Twitter. You can find me at AfroKing89. Ooh, I'm sorry, gang. I am having the worst indigestion right now. These beers are catching up with me, and so are the 99s. Shut up, Weldy. You can also find me on Blue Sky at RickyMJ.something. I don't know if you guys really care to look me up. Go for it. I don't post on Blue Sky as much as I does on Twitter. Fun fact: your boy is drunk right now. Whatever. It's a drinking podcast. I don't know what else to say to you guys. I hold the spirit of it deep down in my fucking liver. Weldy, where can they find you? I suppose
They can find me on Twitch and YouTube. Just look up Weldy Time on both, and you can find my YouTube channel, which finally eclipsed totally 100,000 views.
Hell yeah.
Brian, thank you so much for hanging out. Where can they find you and the Bridge Teachers and all of the great things you and your wife do for the game of Bridge on the internets? Where can they find you at?
We're at thebridgeteachers.com. You can find us there really, really easy. And then that's pretty much everything. YouTube, all the social medias are going to be thebridgeteachers.com. That's where you can find us.
Well, thank you so much for coming on the show and hanging out with us.
Thank you, Brian.
This was an
Thank you,
absolute
Brian.
great time. Got a little wild and out of hand, but that's how we like it. Some of us drink a little much.
That's gonna
I feel like I'm being judged right now. This is horrible.
Ricky, you're cut off.
I am never coming down for an in person. I am never coming down in person ever again if this is what it's like to be that judged.
You know I love you. Whatever, good night, Canada. Whatever, good night, Canada.
Keep your sticks on the ice.
and I am ending my recording. Ricky is going to go pee.